winning this fight tonight with our name lit up in lights. We are the new kings, winning this fight tonight with our name lit up in lights.
Friday Night Stars, presented by Whataburger. We've had our grill going for 75 years, and yep, it's still going. Whataburger, goodness 24/7.
It is week number 6 of this Texas high school football season and time to kick off another football weekend. This is Friday Night Stars inside the Globe Life studios here at the beautiful Star in Frisco. Bill Jones along with Kyle Youmans, who will be doing high school duty, one of those showdowns at the Star this weekend as we reach basically just past the midway point of the regular season, and everybody's playing district games now, Kyle.
Yeah, that's the exciting part about it is now you get to see these district rivalries renewed. You get to see an opportunity to distance yourself from the rest of the pack and see exactly what the playoff picture is going to look like around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Excited to go with it with you, Bill.
All right, and it's some tasty matchups. And how about we start in Class 5A this week with our Whataburger game of the week. It's District 3 5A Division 1. It's those Aledo Bearcats against the Ryan Raiders from Denton ISD. They had a showdown in the playoffs last year and in the regular season. Of course, district rivals, and Aledo looking for a little revenge after losing in the state quarterfinals last year to Ryan.
Yeah, really, when you look at all of the games that happened between these two squads over the last couple of years, it continues to be a big-time matchup and must-watch television. I'll start with Aledo coming off of 3 straight 54-plus point outings. They had a big win early in week 1 of the season against Denton Geyer. They're looking to go undefeated against Denton this week. That was a 21-14 game, and they haven't had a district loss in the regular season since the 2007 campaign, where you look on the other side, a Denton Ryan team that's ranked number 4 in the 5A ranks at the moment. They come in with a big-time defense. They've got some playmakers on that side of the football. They've got a commit on his way to Sam Houston in Warmate on that defensive line, 6 foot, 250-pound interior defensive lineman. You got Xavier Heiler is his name, I believe. He's a 3-star commit at the cornerback position to Arizona. 6'4". He's got a lot of length, and there's a lot of size on that Denton Ryan Raider defense. Thinking of last year, they were up 27-14 at the half against Aledo. Had a 19-point lead in that ball game. Gave up 28 unanswered to the Bearcats in the second half. They got their revenge a little bit in the postseason, but for the most part, this is a team that needs to have success in the regular season if they hope to win this district outright.
And of course, Aledo has a real playmaker, a wide receiver, and Caden Finley, a Notre Dame commit, a 4-year starter for Aledo. Did you say again it's been since 2007 since Aledo lost a district football game? That's the Bush administration.
It's a long time ago. So a lot on the line for a team going up against a really talented Denton Ryan squad. Again, a little bit of animosity between those two as well.
All right. How about we stay in Denton ISD for our second game of the week this week in District 5 6A. The Geyer Wildcats, who opened the season against Aledo with a big district matchup against defending district champion Coppell, which is 3-0 on this season.
And remember, Coppell went 10-0 in the regular season last year and was a really, really talented team. They had a game canceled earlier in the season against Waxahachie, which would have been a high-flying matchup. We're going to learn a lot about the Cowboys in this game. I'm excited to see what their offense can do against the Geyer defense because they've been putting up 414 yards per game. They've been scoring a ton of points. And then on the defensive side, they've got a couple of brothers patrolling the secondary. Tyree and Tyrell Roberson patrolling as the corner and safety duo in that Cowboys secondary. They're going to be fun to watch. But let's talk about Denton Geyer. Do not forget about the Geyer Wildcats. They lost to Aledo by 7, a top team in the 5A ranks. They lost to North Crowley, defending 6A Division I state champions last year. They They lost by 1 single point. They are back, and the defense is who sets the tone. I really like the Illinois commit and Caden Cobb's linebacker, a legacy in that entire Denton Geyer program. I'm excited to see what he can do from a defensive standpoint. They're the ones that set the tone, but their offense put up 49 points against Flower Mound last week. This is a really good Denton Geyer football team, and they're going to be tested against Coppell in District 5-6A.
And it sounds like a fun player to watch is the Coppell quarterback, too. He is 6'5", 220 pounds. His name is Carter Zingelman, who played his freshman year for Jason Witten at Liberty Christian in Argyle. But as a sophomore now, he is leading the charge for Coppell offensively.
Yeah, and you look at the points that they put up, 37 last week against Hebron, 47 the week before against Arlington Bowie, and then the lowest output that they've had in a season was against Saxe back in week 1 where they won 28-20, and even in that game he went 16 for 19 passing, just 3 incompletions, 200 yards in that win against Saxe in week 1. They take care of the football in Coppell, and that's part of the reason why they win so many games.
All right, staying in Class 6A for game of the week number 3, and it's Prosper ISD, maybe the fastest growing community anywhere, as they've got multiple Class 6A schools now. Prosper Eagles, they're the ones we need to talk about. They're 4-0 on the season, and a Rock Hill Blue Hawks trying to pull off the big upset.
Yeah, Prosper is the team to beat. I'm about to read off just a list of commits that they have. Texas Tech, Duke, Texas A&M, USC, Tulsa, Arkansas State, Texas, Navy, Army. Those are just the commits, and that's not only on the Prosper, or that's only on the Prosper side of things. Rock Hill has an uphill battle. They understand what's at stake. They were a playoff team a year ago, but they've had losses to Allen, a really good top team in 6A, and then Princeton, who's going to challenge in District 6A, which we'll talk about a little bit more in depth later in the show. Prosper has the momentum. They started the year with a win over Westlake, 29-22, 45-plus points in each of the last 3 games. They're one of the more talented teams in the entire state of Texas. Prosper's not only looking to build toward the postseason, they're trying to win a state championship this year.
And you can tell what Tyler Moore, how he feels about his football team at Prosper. Not only did they beat Austin Westlake, but just the mere fact that you schedule Austin Westlake in the season opener, that tells you feel pretty good about your football team.
Absolutely. Westlake is the team that, of course, has produced multiple Super Bowl quarterbacks. They are traditional power inside Texas high school football, and Prosper slapped them around in week 1. It was a fun matchup. They haven't been tested since, and really the test is going to come when the Allen Eagles come up on the schedule a little bit later in district play.
Speaking of Austin Westlake, the former head coach at Austin Westlake, he has his hands full this week. Our next game, District 4-5A Division II, Todd Dodge's Lovejoy Leopards, 2-2 on the season, traveling to Melissa to take on the 3-1 Cardinals.
Yeah, I think Coach Dodge has some work to do with his Lovejoy Leopards. This is a team that we're going to learn a lot about going into this matchup. Still looking to prove really who they are after falling to Anna 2 weeks ago, 45-14. They're trying to get back on top of this district. 4-5A Division II is a gauntlet. They won this game last year against Melissa in a shootout, 41-38 the final score, but they've lost a lot of talent due to graduation and, of course, the restructuring in some of those areas as well. Yeah, transfer portal. If it was a thing in high school, Lovejoy would probably be complaining about it, but they haven't necessarily had the same talent this year as they did a year ago, where they go up against a number 8 Melissa squad who skyrocketed up the rankings after they beat Anna last week, 40-34. So when you look at the common opponent, you look at you look at Lovejoy losing to Anna, 45-14. Melissa winning that game, putting up 419 yards of total offense. Nobody really knew about Melissa because of the back and forth with their non-district scheduling and some poor performances. They proved it last week against Anna. They'll have a chance again against Lovejoy.
And you can tell, much like with Prosper, we talked about earlier, scheduling Austin Westlake. Melissa coach Matt Nally feels good about his team. When you schedule Don Bosco Prep out of New Jersey for your season opener, you feel pretty good about your football team, and that was their lone loss on the season, 14-10 to start the year. All right, we're just getting started here on Friday Night Stars. When we come back, it's the showdowns at the Stars. Yes, Kyle Youmans' favorite game of the week because he's calling one of them next.
This segment was brought to you by Whataburger. Try the all-new Prickly Pear Raspberry Whata-Fresher, made with real raspberry. It's refreshing and ready for you now at Whataburger.
We're counting down to the showdowns at the Star tonight at the Star, a District 5-5A Division I matchup featuring the McKinney North Bulldogs and the Lebanon Trail Blazers. More on Lebanon Trail in just a second. The Friday night game, District 7 4A Division I, a district that features Salina and Sulphur Springs, also Panther Creek and Paris. And it's a showdown that Kyle Youmans will be calling tomorrow night here at Ford Center at the Star. Tell me about the Paris Wildcats. Paris with a storied football tradition, the likes of Raymond Berry back in the day. Gene Stallings is from Paris, Texas. Tell me about the current Paris Wildcats.
They're trying to build that tradition again, and they're scheduling. You talked about a lot of scheduling in that first segment. Pleasant Grove is their only loss. Texarkana Pleasant Grove, which is a traditional power in their own right. They got beat up a little bit in that matchup. 24-7 was the final score. But since then, they've bounced back against Van Alstyne. They bounced back against White House, who, of course, produced a guy like Patrick Mahomes. They're in their program's history. And then last week, they started district play with a big win over Lake Dallas, a team that was good and competitive in that district a year ago. So 4-1 team going up against the top 10 ranked opponent this week in Panther Creek. They've got a lot to prove. This game went to overtime a year ago. Expected to be another hard-fought one this year, too.
All right, very good. That's Friday night right here at the Star in Frisco. More on Panther Creek coming up in just a second. But right now, let's check in on the Blazers from Lebanon Trail High School.
Well, we just try to give our kids something to shoot for, you know, and follow their goals and what they want to be in life. And at the end of the day, it's our job as coaches to try to help them reach their goals. And, you know, so we try to give our kids the opportunity to do that for themselves, because I don't want to direct another man's path. That's his job to find out what his path is. It's our job as coaches to enhance that path and help them reach their goals. So as far as what we're trying to do is just be an assistant to our kids so they can be who they want to be.
We just practice. We practice hard. I mean, we come through week in, week out. You know, we don't have like a good reputation, I would say, so we're trying to build that up, and that starts in practice. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would say we try harder. We just want it more than everybody else because we got something to prove, and that's all it is.
We play with all-out effort. Like, we try to go hard every play. That's our main goal every play. Try to get everyone to the ball on defense, offense, just make plays and go all out. A lot of us have a good bond, and we always come up with ways to encourage each other to come out to practice, but not only that, go hard in practice, make sure we're giving all effort all the time so that we can come out and have these fun games and go win.
You know what I like about the two showdowns at the Star this week? It's not just Frisco ISD teams playing it. McKinney North is playing tonight, and Paris gets a chance to play here tomorrow night.
It's one of the best venues for high school football in the entire country, and they've opened it up for that very reason, the opportunity to serve the community as Texas high school football moving forward. Jerry Jones Classic early in the year that this year featured a couple of Texas powers, Plano Senior High, Odessa Permian High School, which of course was the Friday Night Lights inspiration. So the fact that these schools get an opportunity once every few years to come up here, play as a part of the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters, it really is a cool day overall.
Odessa Permian, of course, Mojo. You know who's got their mojo going right now? Panther Creek High School. And so does Salina. We're talking about both of them next here on Friday Night Stars.
This segment is brought to you by Whataburger. Introducing the all-new Whataburger Bacon Wrangler Double. Big Texas flavor, made hot and fresh for a limited time, only at Whataburger.
Man, it's been an incredible experience, and in fact, the senior group is our first group to be all 4 years at Panther Creek, and so building a school from scratch, what a unique, cool experience for not only myself, but our whole staff and community, bringing guys really from 4 different schools into one, buying into a common vision of excellence, and really excited about where we're at and where we can take this program in the future.
Panther Creek in one of the toughest districts in the state of Texas. As evidence of that, if you just look at the Class 4A Division I state rankings, Salina at 5-0 in District 7 4A, number 1 in the state. Sulphur Springs at 5-0, ranked number 6 in the state, and Panther Creek at number 7 in the state, also from that same district. And they've got some recruits on that Panther Creek team as well. Kyle.
Absolutely. A lot of talent. I talked with Coach Surratt this morning and talked about how this is a team with so much talent and so much depth compared to what they have had in the past because of what he just said there. It's the first year they've had all 4 years of guys being at a new facility in a new school. So with all that being said, they rely on some of those players like a Jalen Lott, a Donovan Webb. He thinks Donovan Webb is one of the more talented two-way players in the entire state of Texas. It really is fun to see how this program has grown and established a tradition early on. Graylin Fry has been throwing the ball around pretty well. They go up against a really tough defense this week. He had 9 of 24 passing, 131 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So even with all of this being said, they fell to Salina this week in a big opportunity against that number 1 team in the state. They had a chance late in that football game to win it in the fourth quarter, which was different than last year, which was a 42-7 Salina win. So closing the gap on some of the best teams in the state of Texas. Panther Creek heading in the right direction.
Donovan Webb, a Texas Tech recruit, and of course Jalen Lott, the son of the high jumper from Texas and football player from Texas, James Lott, committed to Oregon. And oh, by the way, that Salina team that they lost to last week, they've got a quarterback, Bo Bentley, who is committed to Oklahoma. And Johnny Resendez has more on the defending state champion Salina Bobcats.
Salina, Texas may not be the biggest town you see on a map, but no matter where you are in the state, when you see that orange sea, you think of one thing: winning.
Good job. That boy, Tracy. Very good.
Salina is coming off a perfect 16-0 season en route to a 4A Division I state title. But with great success comes an even bigger bullseye on you.
It's one of the things that we deal with all the time, but with more emphasis this year, and we've talked about it a lot more this year. With all the publicity last year, the state championship, even a bigger target than usual probably. People want a piece of Salina. You're going to get their best game all the time.
This year's number 1 ranked Salina team is hardly the same as last year's. The Bobcats have only 5 returning starters on defense and 3 on offense. Even with the turnover, the standard has stayed the same.
I like it. I mean, keep doubting us, we'll just go show them why they shouldn't doubt us. We always play as a team. It's not always one man's fault, it's a team's fault.
We're just so focused on our week. I mean, what we got to prepare for. I mean, it's how we practice, and it's how we come out here to do it, and we just focus on who we're playing Friday.
Salina is only one of 4 schools in UIO 11-man football to win 9 state titles. Outside of the 2020 season, they have won at least 11 games each year this decade. That consistent success in a place as talented as Texas is nothing short of remarkable. And head coach Bill Elliott has not only embraced being the hunted, he wouldn't want it any other way.
I would hate to be any place where it wasn't that way. I'd hate to be someplace where everybody's wanting to schedule us for their homecoming game. Everybody's wanting to schedule us, get them on the schedule. I'd rather be that way because that means we're accomplishing something and doing something.
Reporting in Salina, Johnny Resendez, CBS Sports Texas.
Well, the Salina Bobcats, you talk about a program with a storied history. Salina's got it. A lot of support there.
It's Salina time, and the support is fantastic. That conversation I had with Coach Surratt, he said it was one of the best high school football atmospheres he has ever been in, playing in Salina this past week. And they're really talented. When Bo Bentley, as an Oklahoma committed quarterback, goes 9 of 14 with 2 picks and less than 100 yards throwing the football, and they still beat a top 10 team, you know that team is loaded.
All right, we got more of Friday Night Stars to come. Some other great matchups this week when we come back in just a moment.
Friday Night Stars, presented by Whataburger. We're celebrating 75 years of giving the people exactly what they order, 24/7. That's the Whataburger way.
Final couple of minutes here of Friday Night Stars. Take a look at District 6-5A. These are the season records. Allen is the cream of the crop. Prosper may have something to say about that when they play on October 24th at Prosper. The battles for the other playoff spots, it's going to be very interesting what happens here.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think those McKinney schools are a little bit down this year, and you look at teams like Plano and Princeton that are playing high brands of football right now. Plano led by a couple of really star sophomores, C.J. Smith at quarterback, Caden Brown at wide receiver. Both have had some impressive showcases so far. Then how about Princeton quarterback Marcus Flowers? Oh my goodness, his stat line is incredible. 122 of 172 passing. That's 71% completion percentage for 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 1 interception, and they've only played in 4 or 5 games so far this season. It's pretty impressive to see what Princeton's been doing. They're winning games big. That's going to be a crazy fight for that 3 or 4 seed.
All right, we're out of time here on Friday Night Stars for this week. Enjoy the games this weekend, and we will see you again next week on Friday Night Stars.